Hello, everyone. My name is Seokjun Yoon. I'm a junior at Hanyang University Business School. Today, I will give a presentation about my fixed income securities midterm paper. My midterm paper title is The Case Study on Apple's Green Bond, Tracking the Evidence of Greenmium. As you can see in my title, the main keywords of my paper is about green bonds and the term which we call greenmium. And to give a brief explanation about what a green bond is, a green bond is like a type of fixed income debt instrument, like whose proceeds are dedicated to an environmental beneficial project. And this bonds are typically used to finance projects or initiatives that have a positive impact on the environment, such as like the renewable energy efficiency, and like clean transportation, carbon emission or responsible waste management, all those kind of stuff that gives a beneficial impact to the environment itself. So you may have heard of the term of the green bonds nowadays because the market of the green bond is expanding right now. To give a really easy way to explain about green bond is that it's really similar to a traditional bond. The only difference is that the proceeds are used in a project or environmental initiative that impacts the environment, makes the environment good. Because so where the money is going to use and why we issue the bond is the difference between from the conventional bonds. So the term of green bonds is actually very easy because it's very similar to a green bond, to a conventional bond. But the term of now, what I'm going to explain, greenmium is actually what is very important in my paper. Greenmium, it refers to a premium or a cost saving associated with the green bonds compared to conventional bonds issued by the same company or entity. The greenmium reflects the idea that investors may be willing to accept a lower yield or a premium price for the bonds that fund environmentally beneficial projects or initiatives. So greenmium is actually a combined word from green and a premium. And it's very easy because if an investor gives more money than face value of the bond, it means that if there's a premium, the YTM goes lower, making the debt cost saving go down. And this is very incentive for issuers to make the bond. So it has both benefit. This is actually a win-win if this agreement actually exists, because nowadays investors, what I'm going to explain is that the interest in ESG factors is very important for investors now. And lots of investors put in the ESG factors into their investment process. So that's one of the reasons why green bond market is so expanding and it's getting bigger right now. So the investors acknowledge the advantage and the environmental impacts these projects or bonds is going to be used. They acknowledge it and they give more money to it. That's called a premium. And for the issuers, they get the more money, which lowers their debt cost, the yield of the bond, and they get benefits, and they keep that's the incentive of the green bond, and that's what it makes to issue the green bonds further. And this is win-win because it's kept being using in social good projects. So finding the evidence of this greenmium is very important because it can be an evidence that makes the green bonds keep going. So my paper will be trying to analyze the data and track the evidence of greenmium. And the case study will be limited onto Apple's green bond. And as I explained, the green bond market is currently in 2022 is $436 billion US. And this is actually a record to reach in the total green loan issuance. And in 2021, it was 375 billion. And in cumulative, it was a green bond market reached a substantial milestone to a 1.316 trillion dollars and cumulated issuance since market inception in 2007. So, and the reason why I chose particularly in Apple's green bond is because Apple was one of the first technology companies to issue a green bond in 2016. And they issued their second bond in 2017, and now they have issued another 2019 green bond, which is still allocating right now. The right side of the project has the number 59 is the green bond that Apple issued in 2019, and they allocate these proceeds to energy efficiency, renewable energy, and carbon mitigation, and those kind of stuff. Literature review will go over like notable existing literature by understanding the structure and benefits of Apple's green bond, and furthermore acknowledging the data analysis method used by the previous research. On the right side of the graph on the right side is really important to my paper because this is the YTM of comparable Apple bonds due in 2023. This was conducted by another previous research in 2021, and the object of this research was to compare conventional Apple's conventional bond and the green bond, the second green bond that Apple issued. And they compared the conventional to green spread. And the results were actually there was actually no big significant yield difference between these two bonds. And they said that the evidence of the greenium at that time was very scarce. So, but in the research, in the previous literature, they admitted and said the limitations were that at that time, since it was like 2021, and the bonds that they analyzed was issued in 2016 and 17, they had not that much data at that time, and there was a lack of consistent global standards, or and it was complicated to issue an actual green bond at that time, and they had risk of greenwashing. So those kind of stuff made it very hard to find the evidence of greenium right now. But now, since the green bond market has grown tremendously, and Apple since is keep issuing green bonds and still is being allocated, I thought it was very important to analyze the green bonds of the Apple's green bond and extract data and try to analyze it and find if there was a real existence of greenium now. So these are the date. Of course, the case will be the Apple 2019 green bond. In the data selection will be the quantitative data will be like this, and the qualitative data will be like this. The important data that I'm going to collect which is number 5, I think. The data that I'll be extracting from Bloomberg or FN Guide is actually the prices and yield of the similar conventional and green bonds that are now currently issued in the market. And since this midterm paper is a work in process, I'll show a quick glimpse of my paper. So this is the midterm paper I wrote. So I have introduction of the green bond, the market of the green bond, and how Apple like issued the green bond till now, and why these green bond and greenium is important. So this paper explores the advantages and background of the green bond, especially Apple's green bond that they already issued. So the paper investigates the financial statements, debt outstanding, and representative yields by comparing the difference between the Apple's conventional and green bonds. So this will give an empirical data to demonstrate the evidence of greenium. So a notable greenium will validate the extent and impact of the investment demand for green securities. So this is about literature review and the data selection. And then the next things are data collection, data analysis, hypothesis, proposition generation, formula generation, conclusion, and the next is reference. So let's go back to the presentation file. So what I can do further is actually collecting the data from Bloomberg and FN guys. So as I learned how to use Bloomberg a few weeks ago, so the only thing I have to do is to extract the data and then analyze it as the previous literature reviews have done, comparing the conventional green bond, comparing the spread and the price, and analyzing the data. And also this will lead to the proposition generation and forwarding the literature, making a conclusion to this paper. And also I have to write a detailed appendix about it. And the last one is plagiarism check. It showed 4%. I think slow. And all I have to do is to extract the data and actually analyze it, organize the data collection. So thank you for listening, and I'm looking forward to the final paper, writing the final paper, and you can give any comments or any questions about this paper. I'll be glad to give my opinion, or if you give me some feedbacks to make this paper more fruitful. And also, when I'm writing this paper, I mostly focused on the advantages or the benefits that the green bond gives, but on writing the paper, in the final paper, I might include some disadvantages or challenges of the green bonds gets, and depending on the data results, I might give some opinion about it. So please give me lots of comments, because I think I had to revise my paper a lot. So thank you for listening.